Well, Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept our humble obeisances. All glories to Jagat Krishna Prabhupada. All glories to our revered speaker for today, His Grace Sankirtan Prabhu. And all glories to assembled Vaishnavi devotees. Well, we're sorry for the little hitch, but we all set now. So Prabhuji, no further talking. We may put the verse on the screen and then you take it over from here, Prabhuji.
Okay, so just to remind me, I read the shloka or you continue?
Yes, it's just like a temple room setting. So you read the sloka. Devotees may not respond because it creates echo.
Yes.
And then some choose to do the transliteration. Some don't do the transliteration, but you do the sloka, the translation, the purport, and then you give your insight. And if there is some time, devotees may ask some questions.
And your usual time is 45 minutes or?
The speaking time is anywhere between 45, 1 hour.
Okay.
And if there is time, devotees may ask questions or share some sort of realizations.
I have a little busy schedule now after marathon.
Okay.
So my maximum is still 5.
Okay.
I don't know what is your time, if it's 4 at your place also.
So your time is 4-7?
Yeah, same. Okay. Same.
Okay, so yeah, we can do you can speak and then devotees may ask questions.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
okay.
your speaking is enough.
Okay. Or you can
Hare
discuss
Krishna.
after I leave also.
Okay.
Okay, so you will share the screen, yeah?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we are reading from the SRIMAD Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 5th chapter, shloka number 18. Maitreya Uvacha. Sadhu prashtam tvaya sadho lokan sadhvanugrahnata irting vitanvata loke atmanodhokshajatmanaha. Okay, so let's go for translation. Sri Maitreya said, O Vidura, all glory unto you. You have inquired from me of the greatest of all goodness, and thus you have shown your mercy both to the world and to me, because your mind is always absorbed in thoughts of the transcendence. Purport. Maitreya Muni, who was experienced in the science of transcendence, could understand that Vidura's mind was fully absorbed in transcendence. Adhokshaja means that which transcends the limits of sense perception or sensuous experience. The Lord is transcendental to our sense experience, but he reveals himself to the sincere devotee. Because Vidura was always absorbed in thought of the Lord, Maitreya could estimate Vidura's transcendental value. He appreciated the valuable inquiries of Vidura and thus thanked him with great honor. Shloka again. This is.
We have 2 verses today.
Okay, I see. Yeah. Okay, so yeah. Naitachitram tvaikshattar badarayan viryaje grahito nanya bhavena yatvaya haririshvaraha. O Vidura, it is not at all wonderful that you have so accepted the Lord without deviation of thought. For you were born from the semen of Vyasadeva. Purport. The value of great parentage and noble birth is evaluated here in connection with the birth of Vidura. The culture of a human being begins when the father invests his semen in the womb of the mother. According to his status of work, a living entity is placed in a particular father's semen, and because Vidura was not an ordinary living entity, he was given the chance to be born from the semen of Vyasa. The birth of a human being is a great science, and therefore reformation and the act of impregnation according to the Vedic ritual called Garbhadhana Sanskara is very important for generating good population. The problem is not to check the growth of the population, but to generate good population on the level of Vidura, Vyasa, and Maitreya. There is no need to check the growth of population if the children are born as human beings with all precautions regarding their birth. So-called birth control is not only vicious, but also useless. Yeah. Okay, Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashlakaya Chakshurunmilitayena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Srila Prabhupada speaks about transcendence, and the transcendental level on which Vidura and Maitreya are is the goal of all of us, and especially, actually, it's a goal for all living entities to achieve, to be transcendental or above the modes of material nature. So we as devotees, we are trying somehow or other to practice devotional service, so we can be closer and closer to this transcendental platform. Actually, the transcendental platform per se is not our main goal. Our main goal is, and will always remain, to please the Lord. And this will automatically bring us to the transcendental platform, the service to the Lord. This is the method. Many people, they are trying different ways how to achieve the self-realization or enlightenment or liberation, however we want to call it, to be free from material desires or especially material suffering. A living entity really wants to be free from material suffering, but very few realize that to be free from material suffering is only possible through spiritual understanding, and especially and specifically through understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the necessity to serve Him. So we are lucky, quite lucky, that we have been able to accept this point. Many people, even if they are, how to say, this information is available for them, they will not be able to accept it. The false ego is too strong. We don't want it. Srila Prabhupada speaks about the different people going to for transcendency. Some people are averse to transcendental message, and some people are attracted only to the impersonal aspect because they do not have to surrender to anyone else, only to themselves, because they are the supreme. We all are supreme, so that means I am the supreme, so I don't need to surrender to anyone else, just me. So this selfish mentality is very deeply rooted in us. And yeah, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and this amazing Bhagavatam, we are able to understand that actually to give up this selfishness, we need to bow down in front of the Lord. We need to become the servant of the Lord. And this process only by trying to please Krishna, not even trying to become transcendental or very elevated or whatever, just to please Krishna will automatically make a person a person gradually transcendental, as Vidura is and Maitreya is, they both are transcendental because they are great devotees. So Srila Prabhupada speaks there that this parentage, the parents which we have, play quite important role in the life of a soul. And if the soul is qualified enough, the soul can be born in the family of devotees, as is the example of Vidura, as Srila Prabhupada mentions as an example. The soul entered in the semen of Vyasadeva. This is very exceptional. And Srila Prabhupada in some places mentions also that his own birth is very special because his father was a devotee of Krishna, pure devotee of Krishna. He was his memories of his father are always in this mood that he was pure devotee of Krishna, and practically he taught him the whole process of devotional service. And his spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada's Guru Maharaj, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Prabhupada, he taught him one extra specific thing which Srila Prabhupada mentions, and this is specifically book production and book distribution for the preaching. And also he mentions, Srila Prabhupada, that also Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati was born in very special devotional family. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, it's not an ordinary father. Yeah, it's a really special father, born in, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, born in Jagannath Puri, and such special circumstances. It's amazing. And these people we see, these amazing souls, they are just from the childhood very much show their transcendental nature. I hope. Yeah. So, so what to do with us? We are not born in such families, most of us, probably, maybe some of you. I don't know you much. Yeah, some of you. So, but not me. Maybe not many of you. Born in Czech Republic or in Africa or here and there, and not having very good qualified mothers and fathers. And just by some miracle, we came to devotional knowledge of devotional service, and became devotees. And we are trying gradually become transcendental, but usually we struggle quite a lot in this effort. But anyway, we want to continue because this is the only option, isn't it? The only option to try to please Prabhupada and to try to please Krishna, and hope that some transcendental qualities will be developed by us as we are practicing this devotional prayer, this devotional service. So, yeah. Srila Prabhupada speaks there about the Garbhadhan sanskar, which is very important sanskara for Vaishnavas, because when we want to increase the number of Vaishnavas, we have basically two options. We preach to karmis, as we say, or we beget children, and we have more children, and we preach to them. Specifically, we raise them, educate them, and try to guide them in such a way that they will become devotees. And in this way, the number of devotees can increase, and also special souls can get the opportunity to be born in the families of devotees and have nice opportunities for devotional service. So for those who are grihasthas, it is actually practically the most important thing to give opportunity to advanced souls to take birth and guide the souls, their children, in devotional service. And for that, it is very important to properly perform Garbhadhana Sanskara. We are not going to go for any details of this, but basically we need to be really Krishna conscious and beget children with good Krishna consciousness, and also our lives should be full of devotional service. It's not only at this time when we are trying to conceive a child that we will be Krishna conscious, but generally our lives should be strongly Krishna conscious. And then it continues, of course. This is only the beginning. Then it continues. And we can see that often the child can be an inspiration for a parent to become more serious devotee. We are somewhere or other practicing devotional service and doing little japa here, little there, and yeah, some reading and sometimes visiting devotees, some programs, whatever. We can be a little lax and not very serious and this and that. And because we are in the game and maybe we will not become so quickly advanced, but anyway, it's only about us. So sometimes Maya is cheating us in this way. But when the child is there is a good chance that if we are at least little sincere, that for the sake of the child, to give him proper example and etc., we will start to practice more seriously. Because the child, we will read to our children from books about Krishna and about devotional service, and they will know, and then they will ask, "Oh, my dear father, why don't you wake up early in the morning? We have read in Srila Prabhupada's books that we should rise before 4, and you are sleeping till 7. So how can we understand?" So and then we start to change because we want to, of course, if we are sincere, we want to give nice impression to our child and nice example. And we will read to them about Krishna. And many devotees, they don't know the names from Krishna book, from the stories. But parents, they usually know because they read Krishna book to children, or they read Mahabharata and Ramayana. So they know so many names and stories, etc., which many other devotees, they don't remember because maybe we are not forced to read so regularly. But children will force us because they will want to hear some reading, some nice stories before they go to sleep, for example, and so on. So in this way, when this proper care of children, starting with Garbhadana Sanskara and going through education and raising up the children and giving example is very crucial, very important for our society to grow, actually. I mean, in the Prabhupada's times, there were just few children. Little later, during his pastimes, there were more, of course, Gurukulas were there and some focus on this was there. But basically, the main, how to say, focus was on preaching and bringing devotees through preaching, which is still focus and should be the focus. But this part is also extremely important, extremely important. I would say maybe even more important than preaching, to properly educate our children. Of course, if we want to properly give example to our children, we also need to preach to show them that the preaching is there for us to do so they can do it. Of course, we need to do it. But first of all, we need to take care of the children of devotees because they are the great chance and great gift from the Lord. And then also we want to preach, of course, we need to do it. And I personally do it on a regular basis. Just now, yeah, we have, at least in our country, we have, it's the end of Prabhupada Marathon. We ended on 24th of December. Some countries, they do longer. They do till 31st of December, and some they do even longer if they have good opportunity to distribute a lot of books. And we know this is our family business, that we should distribute books of Srila Prabhupada, and Srila Prabhupada had a desire that every member of our society will become expert or will learn this art of book distribution. Because this is very important activity, and even for those children we educate, it's very nice if they gradually when they grow up, learn to find some taste in preaching and approaching people and give them the spiritual knowledge, to share with them the spiritual knowledge, and in this way to please Srila Prabhupada and our previous acharyas. And in this way we can gradually raise more and more people, I mean, it's not we, but we can be helping that. And it's not we who are doing these things, but actually it's also our responsibility and depends on us. If we go out and distribute books and we inspire others to do the same. And yeah, so we are not the doers, but still we should do it. We should try to do it, and we depend on the Lord, and we know that we are dependent, and the Lord has to use us for this amazing activity to share the knowledge of Srila Prabhupada's books with others. And in this way, the Krishna consciousness movement can be spread. So these two things are there. Of course, there are many other points for serving the mission, but in this context, we need more devotees in our movement. This is clear. It's not only for the sake of the movement, that the movement can continue and run. This is one consideration, that our movement needs to continue. And for the movement to continue, we need new blood, somebody who will take over after those who are getting old. And it's a problem of some places and some yatras that devotees community is growing old, and there are not many young followers to take, to become the next generation. So we need this for our society to continue, to keep ISKCON living and inspiring for next 10,000 of years, at least. If we can do more, that would be even better. But at least for the next 10,000 years. So for that, we need followers, and we need many of them. But we need them. And of course, it's not only for this sake, but to keep ISKCON running and going on, and the deities are worshipped and preaching, book distribution is going on, and the show is going on somehow or other. But also for the sake of the suffering people. These people are really suffering. And it is very sad. They just do not know anything about the Lord. They do not know anything about devotion, spiritual world. They're just rotting in this material existence and trying to be happy. And some, they even think they are happy. This is really illusion. It's a really strong illusion. And some, they realize that it is really horrible life. And but yeah, either they are suffering now or they will suffer soon, or they just suffered a lot. But this world is basically suffering. Srila Prabhupada stressed this point very much, and Vaishnava is naturally compassionate. So we want to help the humanity. And even if we don't want to, it's our mission given to us by our acharyas, because if we don't have the compassion, they have it. So maybe we are not doing this preaching mission from our own heart, strong compassion to other living entities, but at least because we are obedient to the orders of our acharyas and Srila Prabhupada, spiritual masters, other devotees. Yeah. So in this way, we really want to help. And Srila Prabhupada spoke high words like, we will save the world in the darkest hour. So the hour is very dark now. It's really, the world is in very bad condition. But somehow or other, many people are attracted to take books or to even become devotees here and there. So yeah, this is very important. And also many people are averse to Krishna consciousness or to the concept of the personal God. It's very difficult actually for the living entity to how to say, to make some progress on when trying to find some solution or some spiritual advancement. The living entity is going through so many different options, and for many we are just one option. Okay, there are Hare Krishnas there, okay. But there are also Christians and Muslims and Buddhists and some New Age and this guru and that incarnation and he and she and whatever is there. And this so many, how to say, yeah, so many traps are there. And when we preach, we meet so much opposition, yeah. So from different sides. Christians, they don't agree with us because we don't accept that Jesus is the only way. And we are actually going to hell because we worship Krishna. And Muslims, they don't agree with us. And atheists, they don't agree with us. And Buddhists, we don't agree with them, of course. And impersonalists, they agree with everyone, but not with Hare Krishna, because we don't agree with them at all. So everything is the same, but the Hare Krishna is bad. So yeah, this challenge is there. People, when they get books, the false ego is, it's really screaming, surrender to God, surrender to Krishna, and accept Krishna as the supreme Lord and bow down to him and do a service for him. It's the false ego, it's completely crazy after hearing this, and protests. Yeah, protests. But some fortunate souls, probably many of you also have had that experience while approaching to Srila Prabhupada's book, getting Srila Prabhupada's book. You have been inspired by that. And when you read about being subordinate to Krishna, you felt happy or comfortable, which is amazing. I mean, we are so blessed that we feel comfortable reading how we are actually just servants of our senses, and we are like monkeys and donkeys and pigs and cats and dogs and whatnot. And then we should surrender to the Lord, that they are misusing our life. And many people get upset, but somehow or other, many of us didn't. So this is amazing opportunity. I mean, amazing situation, that amazing mercy which we got, that we have been able to accept this knowledge. And we hope when we preach and when we distribute books and when we do Harinam, Sankirtan, and distribute Prasadam and do programs for the people, that some other souls will come and will have the same appreciation. This is always very, very pleasing to all devotees to meet somebody who is just inspired by the whatever Srila Prabhupada writes in his books. And yeah, so these people, we are waiting for them, but we see that sometimes it can be discouraging that there are not so many. Sometimes we ask, oh, so many books distributed, like yeah, so many thousands and million books distributed, and still how many people come? Yeah, some come. We can't count like this. We just do our duty. It's for Krishna's pleasure. And Krishna has his big vision, broad vision. We see only something small. I am distributing books this many days, so many books, no devotee. I'm not going to do it anymore. We cannot think like this. It's in Krishna's hands, and we should have full faith. As Srila Prabhupada said, regarding the book production and book distribution, I'm just blindly following my Guru Maharaj. Blindly following. Of course, we don't think in a way that Srila Prabhupada was a blind follower in a negative sense. But there is a difference between blind following and blind following. If we follow person who we know is perfect, then even if we do not understand the order perfectly, and we follow it so-called blindly, it's not actually blind, because that person sees and we don't see. So even if we can't understand all consequences and all complexities of that order, and maybe can have some doubts, which we can even express, we can do it. Of course, it's not forbidden. But at the end, it doesn't mean that we are not going to follow. Because sometimes the devotees speak about blind following. I'm not going to blindly follow this thing, and I don't believe it. When I understand it, I will follow. But there is also something like blindly not following. So we really do not understand the whole thing, but because we think that we are very smart, we don't follow. because we don't want to follow blindly, which is actually very blind. So we should be smart enough, and we should see also this example of Srila Prabhupada. He said, I'm following blindly. Blindly means that I just don't question it at all. Guru Maharaj wants it. I know he is perfect. I know he is right. Some people, materialistic people, maybe will not be able to appreciate such statements, such thinking. They will consider it very blind, and they will think this is not proper, and they are just blind followers, and yeah, this is a sign of a sect or a religion or this and that. But for us, this is glorious, because, and actually, if we elaborate, as I was little telling, it's not actually that blind, because we can see Srila Prabhupada, how he acted, how he behaved, how his consciousness was clearly on different level to all others. So we have no problem to following his orders. So even if we can have some doubts that this book distribution is not maybe so important or whatever, or it's not effective, or not so many devotees are coming, we can't judge like this. What is many devotees? Maybe even one is a lot. It's amazing. It's one person joined. It's amazing. We can't be so, we can't calculate really like this. And in some countries, it goes very well, like in India. I mean, it's people are joining like anything in many places, just joining. And even they have some statistics, they can even count. I remember when I was I think it was in Pune, and they have a system, the temple preaching, they have a system to which universities they go to preach, and they have a statistics from which universities usually how many young boys join. So for example, they have first program, like first, whatever it is, they have some indirect, what maybe there are like maybe a few hundred people, then they invite them for some other program, Science of Self-Realization course, then maybe 60 people will come, and at the end of the course, they know we will have 6 to 10 new bhaktas. So they can count like this. This I find amazing. We cannot count like this here in Czech Republic. I don't know how it is in Africa, but here we cannot count like this. We can maybe expect 1, maybe 0, maybe 2, maybe 3. We never know what will be the outcome. And they have even the statistics, from, for example, from the art university, it's less people interested. They are too much free and like that. And from another kind of university, it's more medical is better, or mathematics, whatever. So which is better for preaching, which is less good. So like that. And so people are joining there a lot. And then in many other places also, we see so many devotees in Russia and Ukraine, and now also in USA. My god brothers are running a temple in Atlanta, Georgia, and they are distributing literally thousands of books every day. It's amazing. SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM sets, and yeah, it's great. It's just amazing. And young boys are joining, becoming brahmacharis, and very much enlivened by Srila Prabhupada's books. So this is amazing to see also the bigger picture. Yeah, sometimes when we are here in West or South, or however we want to call it, we can think that ISKCON is a small organization and this and that, but when we see a little broader picture, we can see overall people are accepting Krishna consciousness, and of course most of them are still in Maya, and it will probably remain like that for a long time. But Srila Prabhupada said, even if I make one pure devotee, my mission will be successful. So we can also he wanted big numbers. That's another thing. More people to join, more books to be distributed. On the other hand, he wanted to boil down the milk and train devotees, and didn't want to increase anymore at some time. But then he again increased, and then again trained. And so these things are always there. So, but our meditation of all of us should be actually how to increase the number of devotees for the sake of the people, and to please our predecessor acharyas, this should be very strongly in our minds, whatever we are, grihastas, brahmacharis, vanaprasthas, sannyasis, whatever, whoever we are, brahmanas, kshatriyas, vaishyas, shudras, or outcasts, or whoever, whatever situation, beginner devotee, advanced devotee, old devotee, young devotee, woman, man, we should be thinking how to increase and how to spread this devotional cult, as Srila Prabhupada sometimes said, not in a negative sense, but yeah, this Vaishnava, Gaudiya Vaishnava cult, this transcendental mission. And yeah, so so from today's purport, there was a great stress put on this karmadana samskara. So these two things, we should not think that one is important and the other is not. We should have both of them. Sometimes in past, in many places, our movement or devotees of our movement did a mistake that they just didn't care of children so much. And those who took care of children usually were those who were useless in other services like Sankirtan or preaching and like that. So they were useless, so they were put to teach children or take care of children in Gurukulas. So that was a great mistake, and or just children were not taken seriously. It was Maya for a brahmachari. Children, this is just Maya. We are brahmacharis. We just preach and we don't care, anyone else. But actually, these children, they will grow and they will become adult and they can join the mission. And if they have good sanskaras, good remembrance of their childhood with devotees, to be being dealt with love and affection and having seen good examples and inspiration, then they will have different heroes than other children, Other children then see as their heroes Arnold Schwarzenegger, maybe not now, that was my generation, sorry, but or some Michael Jackson, or I don't know, some singer or film star or someone like that. But they will see the brahmacharis or some preachers and other devotees or their father as great hero, and they will want to follow. So it's very important for us as society on the institutional level to very much stress and give support to train and educate and take care of children of devotees. Very important. Otherwise, we will not really increase. And yeah, and at the same time, to preach, to spread to others. Yeah, that is very much needed. So these are a few thoughts. It's 4:45. So if maybe there is some question or comment, it can be now raised.
Well, Hare Krishna, thank you so much, Prabhuji. This is very beautiful. From your delivery, I can only assume that you are a very good preacher. Like you are able to speak to diverse types of people to help them appreciate Krishna consciousness. Thank you so much. I have one quick question though, because it is true that Srila Prabhupada wanted us to have more people join our movement, because if we have more people joining our movement, then it helps fulfill our essence, because our essence as devotees is to help the conditioned souls to be able to go back to Godhead. And the more we have, the better. But here is the case: Lord Chaitanya himself, whom we are all trying to follow, prayed to the Lord that he does not want many followers. So I know there are some temples, like every morning they chant the 8 Sikshastaka prayers. If we continually pray to the Lord that we don't want many followers. And we come back again complaining to the Lord, why are you not sending us many followers? What do we do?
It's mine or what is this? I just hear some noise.
Yeah, I think it's coming from your end. Let me see. Yeah. Maybe you were receiving a call. Somebody was calling you. You may unmute, Prabhuji. We'll see. Dear devotees, we're sorry, it seems Prabhu's device kind of froze. But we'll see if he'll be able to get back. But like I was saying, Prabhuji is giving very wonderful Krishna Katha, because the way I understood him, he is encouraging us to try to serve the Supreme Lord through the Guru and the devotees. And it's very interesting, he was talking about blind faith, which our speaker 3 days ago also said the same thing, blind faith. Blind faith usually is like negative connotation, because nobody wants to do anything blindly. But this is a positive part of the blind faith. Well, Sankirtan Prabhu, thank you. You're back.
I am back. Sorry, somebody was calling me and he was very determined.
Yes, I thought as much. Yeah, so if you may try to respond to my question, that is, we want to increase the number of devotees.
Yeah.
Because the more devotees we make means that we are able to help devotees go back to Godhead. And like I said, some temples every morning they chant the 8 Shastakars of Lord Chaitanya, and he says he doesn't want many followers. So what do we do?
Yeah, the thing is, I think the answer is quite simple. We don't want many followers for us, but we want many followers of Krishna. Because, yeah, isn't it? So that prayer is personal. It's a prayer of a devotee. I don't want many followers because I do not want to feel important or some special or powerful because I have many followers, so I can control them. They can serve me, worship me, and this and that. So if we have many followers for ourselves, we can then enjoy them. And so this is generally a great material desire to have many followers. So we don't want many followers for ourselves, but for the service of Krishna, we want many followers, as many as possible, because Krishna is the supreme. So we want him become famous of having so many followers. We want many followers of Srila Prabhupada's movement because we know that Srila Prabhupada is the best to follow. So in this way, we don't want many followers for ourselves, but for Krishna, for Prabhupada, for the philosophy, we want many people to join. And we don't want to make them our followers. Oh, I preach to you, now you are my, follower. And now you have to, through me, only through me, you can perform devotional service. Yeah, that's not the right mood. But yeah, we also see Srila Prabhupada was kind of proud. Sometimes he proudly walked and proudly spoke about his disciples. But it was not a pride in a sense that he was like proud of himself. It was a pride that Krishna is such an amazing person, and these people are joining this amazing movement. And so it's amazing how Krishna is doing these things. So like that. Similarly, like when the spiritual master is accepting worship from his disciples, if he's true representative of Krishna, he is just acting as a medium. Yeah, he is accepting the worship in the name of his guru. And he knows actually in this way, my disciples, they worship my guru because I'm just his product. It's not me, actually. It's actually it's going to him. So in this way, we always have to, send it up. Yeah.
Well, thank you for the explanation. So if I understood you, it is not like Lord Chaitanya is saying it that he doesn't want many followers, but he does not want to claim that he is the overall boss of whoever comes to him, but the Supreme Lord is, even though he himself is the Supreme Lord, but because he was playing the role of a devotee, he was praying like that.
That's the point, because Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that whoever spreads the glories of me, then I really love him. And he is very dear to him. So Krishna wants many followers. Krishna as Bhagavan in this mood, he wants many followers. And he is very clear about it because he is God. And if you become my followers, you will become happy. And if you bring more followers to me, you will be even more happy. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in the mood of a devotee. So he prays in the mood of a devotee. I don't want any followers because I don't want to become puffed up. So I don't want my followers, but I want followers of Krishna to become more and more. So it's not the desire of Krishna. In the, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not representing the desire of Krishna that he does not want many followers. Krishna, of course, wants everyone to follow him. Therefore, he created all of us, although we are also eternal. Anyway, this is another point. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is just giving the mood that we should follow, that we want to be humble servants. That's the thing. We want to be a follower, not those who have many followers.
Well, thank you so much, Sankirtan Prabhu. That's very beautiful explanation. If I may ask something about the Garbhadan Samskar. Of course, you were saying that it's very detailed. We cannot go very deep into it now. But when someone performs the Garbhadan Samskar, is the Garbhadan Samskar ceremony going to attract a very good soul to the performer, or the one who is this ceremony is meant for? Or it is because the person this rites is or ritual is meant for deserves such a good soul? The reason I'm asking is because one may not qualify himself to have such a very nice soul as his child, like Vidura being the child of Vyasadeva. But just by performing the Garbhadan Samskara, if that will attract a very good soul to the person, then I don't understand how that works. So I'm thinking that, is it because the Garbhadan Samskara is performed for the right person, and therefore the right soul will appear as the child of the individual, or regardless of the state of the person the ritual is meant for? Once you perform the Samskar, Garbhadan Samskar, the soul you're looking for will appear.
Of course, I mean, Garbhadan Samskar basically means that we conceive the child in very good spiritual consciousness, which is ascertained by Srila Prabhupada's recommendation or order that the Grihasthas should chant 50 rounds usually. Yeah, that's followed by ISKCON devotees of Mahamantra. So they really prepare their consciousness before conceiving the child, because that consciousness influences what quality of soul will be coming there. That's what we can say about it. And of course, the other things are also in consideration. So it's not by all chants, but there is this karmana daivanetrena. Yeah, there is the higher system for this, and all things are considered. The thing is that our conscious things during the consciousness of the parents during the conceiving the child. And another thing is that it's also considered that how quality devotional life they live, and they can predict what will be the general mood, and it doesn't mean that they have one day good consciousness and then usually they are completely down that the very good soul will come. And also we can't probably influence fully who will come. We just depend on Krishna. And we can also see, which is interesting, that some good devotees got not very good children, even including our Srila Prabhupada. So it does not work 100% like this, that we can, okay, I chanted my rounds and now my consciousness was good and now Vidura is going to born and and my child will be a pure devotee from the beginning of the life. Yeah, we never know. It's always in Krishna's hands. Krishna knows the best. But we should try to do it according to Krishna's desire, how this should be done, thus to please him. And then Krishna will send a soul which will be suitable for both of us, for the soul and for us to purify, to make some more advancement and show him his love. And this will be arrangement of the Lord, and whatever comes, we will just accept. We can't really fully control it. We can just pray and do it as nice as we can. But still we should be very much open to the outcome because it's not there are so many other considerations which we don't see. Krishna sees everything like this. I mean, the broader picture again, but we see only our little small view, and we think we tried so much. Now pure devotee will become my son, and then it comes out that it's not such a pure devotee, and then we again doubt. So that's there. So again, it's, as in everything, we want to do it not specifically exactly because of the result, that we want to practice devotional service to become transcendental, or we want to do proper garbhadana samskara to have specifically only good child. This will be there. This we have to also consider. But main consideration is we want to do it in a way Krishna likes it. Krishna prescribes it to please him, and there is good chance that the result will be also very, very amazing. But if it is not according to our, expectation, we still are able to digest it because it's Krishna's plan, Krishna's arrangement, and we are going to please him anyway. We are going to try and to serve and just accept whatever he gave us as his sweet will.
Well, thank you so much, Prabhuji. I believe your time is up, as you indicated. So I believe devotees might have wanted to ask some further questions, but we would like to end it here so you'll be able to engage in your other service. But we cannot thank you enough for being with us today. Hold on.
Okay.
Sorry about that. We are very much grateful that you've been able to be with us and share with us your love and wisdom. And like I was saying earlier on, your presentation is so beautiful that it kind of satisfies all classes of men. I mean, whichever level you are at, if you are kindergartner, you will appreciate it. If you are a nursery pupil, you'll understand it. If you are primary, secondary, college, university graduate, you will get satisfied from the presentation. I hope and pray that I'll be able to learn to speak in such a way that I can Like whoever, see how like Srila Prabhupada speaks, when Srila Prabhupada speaks, he speaks just one sentence, but different people understand it differently, and they all benefit from it. So it's a special talent. And with that being said, devotees, we're going to humbly request you all to kindly unmute, and we all chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra to express our appreciation to our revered speaker, our brother Sankirtan Prabhu, for being with us today, all the way from Czech Republic. Jai. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vancha kalpataribhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha titanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai.
Jai. His Grace Sankirtan Das Prabhu ki jai.
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 Thank you.
Hare Krishna.